Islam family, peace family. Hey, I'm my biggest fan. Y'all go get it one day. I'm my biggest fan. It is what it is. All praise be to Allah. First and foremost, let's get into it. First and foremost, I rise giving praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. And I'm going to repeat it over and over and over again until people get it. Allah is just another language to say the same thing as it means the infinite creator. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Giving praise to the infinite creator, Allah. Giving praise to Allah, the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. Giving praise to Allah. No beginning, no end, has not been born, never been born, and will never die. That's the Allah I'm talking about. You call it what you want after that. But you better believe, as it says in the Piscine or the Bible, that God is a spirit and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. Talking about the universal creator, Allah. I give honor to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali, because as I always say, if it wasn't for Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it definitely wouldn't be me. I'd definitely be no me, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here. I'm trying to tell you now. I would not be here. I would be somewhere else doing something else. And that something else wouldn't be that good. So all you crazy people out there, thank Allah and his prophet that I'm not in your midst. Because I was at the top of my game when it came to crazy. So all praise to the prophet for bringing me by the will of Allah into this marvelous life. But with that being said, this show this week is basically about the weekend review. And what we're going to do is we're going to let the people talk a little bit. Before I start, I want to put the number in the chat. I don't know if you got the number off the Facebook page, but I'm going to put the number in the chat. Personally, I don't know the number off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look, give me a second. I'm going to look at my phone and I'm going to get this number. And I'm going to put the number in the chat. All right? And I'm not going to send it yet because I want to talk about a few things. And once I talk about a few things, I'm going to open the line up. Now, first of all, the first issue that we're going to address is I do this all the time, right? I mean, like, I made it. And what I mean by that is, bro, it seems like when you start doing YouTube videos, it's like people think that you have arrived or something. Let me tell you something. I've never gotten a YouTube check. Trust me on this one. I don't do this for that. I do this for the brother that came in my temple today, or came in the Moorish Science temple today, and was interested in Moorish Science. I do that because the brother wanted to proclaim his nationality. Whether he wanted to proclaim his nationality or not, if anybody walk in the temple and say, man, I support you, and I want to know where I can help out, it's all good. That's why I do this. Bear in mind. Now, you got other people that goes to YouTube strictly to make $1. And that's what they do. They don't have any other means of making $1, so they come to YouTube talking a whole bunch of this, that, and the other. That's how my father say, this, that, and the other. This, that, and the other. This, that, and the other. A whole bunch of nonsense, stirring up a whole bunch of foolishness, hoping somebody going to view it, and then YouTube going to cut the check. It don't matter who they put on the chopping block, no matter who they disrespect, it don't matter. They just going to keep on going on and on and on until YouTube cut the check. Case in point. Let me get my chat ready, because I'm about to drop the number in. Give me a minute though. Work with me, fam, and I'm gonna work with you. Let's all work together, do what we gotta do. You heard me? No, for real. So you got people that do that. So this week Me and Ali's men this past Wednesday, we doing a show called We Can Stop Them From Killing Us Now. And basically, it's not saying we're going to jump in front of the bullet. It's not saying that we have a bulletproof vest to stop all the bullets coming at our people. Basically, it was talking about Operation Proclamation, how to implement it, and how to take control over your community. That's what it was all about. So while we doing that, and I'm going to name drop this guy, man, because this guy's unbelievable. This guy, they call him Israel Doctrine. If y'all familiar with this guy, man, this guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable. First of all, I meet this guy on the upswing of doing a YouTube demonstration, right? So as I'm doing the YouTube, he reached out to me and said, would you like to come on my show? You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem. I don't know you. It's cool. I come on your show. So I come on the show and I don't know what the topic is. It's not that serious. I come on the show, whatever. But at the time I come on the show, everybody that's into this YouTube world thing, at this time, I'm not knowing that YouTube is a culture of itself. You know what I'm saying? It's a subculture. For real. It's crazy. It's like social media turned up. Like, for real. So he invite me on his channel, and so I'm like, cool. I go on there, I forget the topic, whatever. Show go good, fine. Now, in my mind, I just say, hey, the brother wanted me on his channel. I come to see now, in his mind, he think he was helping me out to promote my name. I don't need no promoting on my name. I don't do this for money. I don't need no promotion. Come on, man. What you see right now is what you see. And this is the crazy thing about it. Anybody that knows me know what you see right here is what you get. It is what it is. For whether it be from my brother Sharif, or whether it be from a brother that just met me. The animated me is what you get. That's just what it is, you know? So boom, anyway, this guy think he's doing me a favor. So after that, he continued, I got you, my brother. I talk about Operation Proclamation in a minute. But he continued to come on in my inbox and Facebook, like, when you gonna put me on your show? So then he sent me this video. He sent me this audio. I guess it was a video audio. It was an audio. He snuck and recorded SaNeter. SaNeter cussing him out. SaNeter telling him all type of foul stuff that I'm not even going to repeat. He wanted me to put on the show. So I said, you know what? I'll put you on the show. I said, but I said, this is not going to be an attack. I said, we're going to talk about what is the conscious community. So boom. Before he could get on the show, a brother from another station named Basim, we on the channel, and I said what I was doing on the next show, and the brother persuaded, oh, no, don't mess with this guy. I'm not playing Basim no mind at the time. I don't know Basim, he don't know me. So at this time, I'm not paying. I'm like, whatever, I do what I want to do. I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing this for money. I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I didn't say that to Basim, but that's that's my attitude at the moment. But nevertheless, I also took into consideration that Basim might be on to something, but whatever. The next day, I get a call from SaNeter. Brother, you really gonna put him on? At this time, me and SaNeter is at each other. But again, I don't take this stuff serious, because if it's serious, we ain't talking over YouTube. I don't take it that serious. So sure, I pick up the phone when SaNeter call. Absolutely. You know, so check this out. So somebody said, but did you give Israel your word you will appear on the show in return? Let me explain this. That must be brother Israel. So let me make you go backwards on your word. So you let someone else make you go backwards on your word. Let me say something to you. That's brother Israel, Doctrine, Peacemaker. No, I did not give him my word. I don't give my word about anything. I always say we'll see. I am that busy. Matter of fact, let me tell you what I did today. I am that busy. You know, I left from the temple during Sunday school for 2.5 hours, which it don't last that long, but you see I'm a talker, you know, and I like to teach, you know what I mean? And I come straight here and set up. Yesterday I was super busy, having to add time to promote anything. Bottom line is this, I am super busy. So no, I never say, okay, I say, we'll see if we can come up with a topic. Bottom line is this. Bottom line is this. We couldn't come up with a topic. Matter of fact, hold up, let me go back. After I talked to SaNeter, I said to SaNeter straight up, and I can get him on the phone right now. I said, SaNeter, I said, man, that's some dirty words you said to this brother, man. I said, you can't represent the conscious community coming at this brother like that. I said, man, that's crazy, man. I said, I understand having words, but the things that you said to this brother, you have children watching this. You have brothers like young Marcus watching this. I said, brother, you can't be, come on, man. And he said to me, he's like, I know, but this brother just, he just get to me, da-da-da, and I had to say what I had to say, because this is the type of guy he is. This is the type of guy he is. I said, well, brother, just make sure we don't come at each other like that, because, brother, you are of the conscious community, whether we agree or anything. I say, if you say to me that you ain't coming at people like that, because it was very vile. It was very low vibration when he told the brother, straight up. It was very vile. So he said, well, brother, you know, I said, my sons watch this stuff. I watch this stuff with my sons, man. I can't turn this on to my son, hear you say something like that. Bottom line is, so I never said, you know what? We ain't doing that no more. Brother, I ain't coming at this guy no more. I'm going to let it go. I said, okay, well, I'm not even going to interview the guy on the subject. I agreed with SaNeter because SaNeter told me that he wasn't coming at nobody on that lower level like that. I said, even if you come at me in such a way that I get angry, brother, the way that he came at the brother was very low vibration. He said, I get it. You right. I'm done with that. So boom, he got done with it and we moved on. After that, I'm still talking to the brother Israel Doctrine. I'm still talking to the brother Israel Doctrine, and I'm trying to develop another show for the brother. I'm trying to develop another show for the brother. Islam, brother, if you're more, but you said I went back on my word, brother. He said I went back on my word. I didn't agree to anything, brother. I did not agree to anything. I don't do that. So if you're getting your information wrong, I don't agree like that, brother. Anyway, so I'm still developing a show for the brother. I'm like, brother, what do you believe in? The brother tell me, and I'm talking about Israel Doctrine. I said, brother, what do you believe in? This brother gonna tell me, I believe in Israel. I'm a Hebrew nationalist. I'm an Israeli nationalist. I said, brother, what exactly is that? Never heard of it. What is it? See what I just said? That's what he said. Nothing. I said, so brother, do this for me. Create a video or something. And let me know what an Israel nationalist is, what a Hebrew nationalist is. And we can discuss it. No problem. I want no beef with you. Let's see what we can discuss it on the channel. He do a video. The video didn't make a lot of sense to me. He's on an old couch. He's on an old no good couch. You know that old no good couch. That little couch. Somebody threw out through the dumpster. He poured it in the basement. He on an old no good couch. And hold up. Let me see real quick. He on that old no good couch. I'm watching the chat too, right? So work with me. He on that old no good couch. And he going in, but it's not making sense. Now, mind you, I want to be responsible with this YouTube thing as best that my intellect will allow me to be. So it's not making sense. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to get on here and just go back and forth with something that don't make sense. And then it hit me. I said, man, this brother just trying to get on the show. He's trying to promote his channel. Understood. But brother, you can't promote your channel without decent content. I'm just being me. Maybe me is decent content. I don't know. Maybe I'm entertaining. I don't know. But brother, you're not saying nothing. So boom, I say, brother, you gotta come up with something else. Anyway, he don't come up with nothing. He calls me, he texts me, he inbox me. I'm too busy to go back and forth with the brother. So I kind of just slides away and say, I can't come up with a show with the brother because he's not making sense. I'm gonna leave it alone. You go your way, I'll do mine. Period. So boom. He's still cool with me at this moment, though. You know what I mean? Now, if I can think of a show, then I'm going to call the brother, but he's still cool with me at the time. Here we go. We do the show the other night. And here go this brother. As we post the name of our show, he posts Operation Proclamation. Brother Sharif, he name dropped me. He name dropped Brother Sharif and say it's not going to work. Mind you, he don't even know. He doesn't even know what Operation Proclamation is. You know what I mean? He don't even know. But nevertheless, he do that show. A few hours later, he do another one. Because I made a statement. I said, brother, you stuck on that couch forever. If you go to any city, you done. What I meant by that, let me clarify. He done came at so many people that he can't go nowhere. He done came at so many people sideways. Now you glued to the couch. You glued to the couch. You can't move. So what I'm going to do is, I see some people got some questions. I'm about to release the number. And what I want you to do, call in, let's keep it brief, and we're going to discuss the first topic. Whatever topic you want to discuss, we're going to discuss these topics. I'm watching two different things anyway, but we're going to discuss it. So I'm going to release the number, but let's keep it brief, brothers and sisters, so we can let everybody get in real quick. All right, so here it go. So there's the number. And we'll go from there, and we're going to discuss this. And then we got a few topics on, a couple brothers going to come through, and we just going to have a good dialogue real quick. And see what's going on. So somebody call in 443-869-2517. And I've made a mistake and put the wrong. Let me see real quick. I got you. Let me get my mouse. Don't move. Don't y'all go nowhere. I'm going to get my other mouse so I can do this right. Hold up. Hey, this brother is terrible. I want to be your friend. That's all. I want to be your friend. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to do is be your friend. Yeah. So give me a minute. Here we go. All right. Now. What, brother, call in. Peacemaker, call in. Call in, Peacemaker. Cause I want to talk to you. Call in. Call in. Call in, Peacemaker. Call in 443-869-2517. Now, call in. Since you talk about my word, I never gave nobody my word. But call in, bro. Come on, let's talk about it. Come on, let's do that European thing. What they say, let's give them something to talk about. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Just an interview or not? Yeah. Yeah. Call in, brother. Call in. See, this is the type that be playing them games. You know what I mean? Because if he's so on hold up. He said Fleecemaker, he called him, and Arkansas did not pick up the damn phone, so Taharka left a message. So don't be stupid, Fleecemaker. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, I don't see the phone ringing. Yeah, anyway. All right. So that's the first thing on the agenda. We're going to move on. You know what I mean? Now, listen. Again, I don't have no problem with this, brother. I really don't. I really don't. I'm too busy to create problems, man. I'm for peace. I'm for peace, brother. I'm for peace, and I'm for advancement of my people. I'm not for causing no confusion. That ain't my thing. I've never benefited from confusion. You know what I mean? Look, no thank you, Mo. If you say you did not give your word, guess his word against yours. Brother, peacemaker, if you not him, call in. Yeah, call in. That's what I thought. Now, secondly, let's go right here. Anybody want to call in? 443. I forgot my own number. Yeah. Let me look at the number. Don't bother me. 443-869-2517. 443-869-2517. Call in and we're gonna discuss some things. All right. Now. All right. So next on the lineup is this. Let me conclude real quick. Personally, I don't have a problem with anybody. Again, if I had a problem with somebody, I would not address it on YouTube. So when you see me go back and forth with Shaka, or you see me go back and forth with SaNeter, or you see me go back and forth with Sankofa, trust me on this one. I don't have a problem with my brothers. This is YouTube. That's it. If I had a problem, you would not hear me talking about it on YouTube. I don't get down like that. Period, point blank. Those are my brothers with different views. Those are my brothers with different opinions. I don't mind their opinion. It's fine with me. Those my brothers that strike blows, it's fine with me. I have no problem with it, as long as it don't cross the line of disrespect. A lot of that stuff, whatever, goes out in one ear and out the other. Don't bother me at all. Brother Larry, I don't have no problem with that, brother. Trust me on this one. I really don't. This is YouTube. I understand. They love this stuff. You know, this is all they do 24/7. You know, and that's good. They doing something. Besides sitting on the couch all day long, glued to the couch. Anyway, if anybody want to call it, I see I got my brother Grimmy Ardell in the house. Hey, brother Grimmy Ardell, Islam.
Islam, Muslim. Islam.
Brother, we in the chat right now, and I'm just engaging the people, our audience, you know, because I've noticed through time that brothers and sisters in the audience always say, what's the number? What's the number? Can we call in? What's the number? So I'm going to take a time for maybe about 45 minutes, engage the audience, talk about some of the stuff that I experienced this week and some of the things that I seen this week. And we're going to talk about it, open the lines up and see if we can communicate with our people, these spiritual truths on a level which they can understand. But anyway, my brother, coming to the chat, let everybody know who you are and introduce yourself, brother.
Islam, this is Brother Zachary Grimmy on ill from New Orleans, Louisiana. But first of all, I rise giving praise to Almighty God Allah and honor to his holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, giving honors to the forerunner of the prophet, the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, giving honors to all past and present leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America, all sheiks, all divine ministers, all things that pertain to Islam. And with that being said, brother man, I give honors to you. I give honors to the brothers and Ali's men, and all praises due to Allah. Because Allah is love, and love is all we need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Grimmy out here. And now y'all need to know who this brother is. This is a brother that's always in the chat. When he come up on the panel, he got a book in his hand. Now, y'all be sitting up there looking at this, and I be seeing y'all giving the comments when this brother come into the chat. I'm looking at the chat at this, but I'm not worried about that. Let me say this. So if y'all got any Moorish historical questions, any Moorish doctrine questions, don't be afraid to call in. Y'all are always writing it in the chat. I'm looking at the chat now. You can call in. You know, my brother Nasir, he putting the number in the chat. I got the number in the chat. You can call in. So, brother Grimmy Arnell, this week, right, If you don't know, I'll update you. You know, we had the brother Israel Doctrine, not just come at me, brother Sharif, and all the Moors about Operation Proclamation, which the brother don't have a clue what Operation Proclamation is for real. But I don't want to stay on him too long, you know, because at this point, it's worthless. It's worthless to stay on topics like that too long. But I just want the brothers to know that come at the Moors that we see you, we on you. Not a big deal. It's okay. But the next topic is the next topic I wanted to address was what is going on in North Carolina as it relates to the Charlotte situation. Have you heard anything about that, brother?
Islam, or you mean in regards to the shooting of the brother and what's
Yes,
going
yes,
on in that?
yes. You know, the last thing we heard was that the brothers and sisters was in the streets and they was tearing up some stuff, and then it dropped off the radar.
Right, right. Indeed, brother, man. You know, I don't know too much about that particular situation. I did keep abreast of the shooting. I kept abreast of some of the protests and things of that nature. But, you know, really more, you know, in my opinion alone, you know, this is the same thing that's just been going on, you know, over and over and over again. And, you know, I made like a little video the other day in that regard. And, you know, a lot, this might, you know, kind of rub a few brothers and sisters, you know, the wrong way. But the bottom line is that, you know, our nation or our people, you know, in North America, we are special people. And we are special people that's being touched by Almighty God Allah right now. And, you know, Almighty God Allah, you know, the universal force, if you will not accept anything from the Asiatics other than a God-fearing, God-adhering culture, or a science of life culture, if you will. And basically, you know, what we are seeing is the effect of what Noble Drew Ali basically prophesized in the editorial, The Divine Warning of the Nations, where he basically said that, you know, if the sin, you know, I'm not quoting him exactly, but he basically said that if these sins are not corrected by my people, the worst is yet to come, you know. And you know, that on that level, and you know, our moral and our spiritual compass is off. And you know, we have in like the Hindu sciences, that in the Indian science that we study, the Hindu science, excuse me, there's the thing that's called karma. But karma is not only for individuals, it's for races, nations, and groups as well. And you know, basically, with that being said, you know, we kind of reap the uh, innocent people, you know, end up dying for the racial karma. So, you know, as a group of people, we have to get ourselves as a whole group spiritually and morally together, because Almighty God Allah won't accept anything less from this particular nation that He has His hands on right now. And I mean, that's the first part of that, but that don't justify, you know, the police killings. But we need to know that we being called out by Almighty God, and that's just the bottom line from my perspective, as much as that's concerned. Now, the thing about the individuals falling off with the protest and everything like that, that happens because, you know, people don't have a guiding light to continue going forward. They don't have a mission. Basically, what they have, brother man, is you know, anger and justified anger and frustration with the civilization, with the situation, but they don't have a platform, if you will, in which to get things done. So, you know, these protests come, you don't hear anything about it. They fall off the scene, and then you don't hear anything else until this stuff cycles through again. So what the brothers are saying in Operation Proclamation, and I'm no Operation Proclamation specialist, if you will, but I understand the spirit in which our leads men is bringing this thing forward. The bottom line is that you have to take the bull by the horns and get involved socially, politically, and economically to begin to change law, affect policy to prevent these things from happening. And that's the bottom line, and even Dr. King, a lot of people talk about the whole Dr. King thing, but Dr. King showed it. He went into these individuals' pockets by boycotting the buses and so on and so forth, showing economic power. But when you go out and you have frustration to where you have to destroy stuff, and then you go back to McDonald's to work there every day, then you're not really making a powerful statement to change anything.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. And what baffles me as it relates to what you're talking about. What baffles me is that, and we're talking about the week in review. So last night, I was just chilling. I'm just chilling, laid back, relaxing, chilling, and I get this alert on my Facebook inbox, and it's this guy that I grew up with, and for so long, this brother always, for the last few months now, always send me pictures that he's popping bottles. Yeah, they're popping bottles. See, don't let the feds fool you. People will still come at you sideways. You know what I mean? He's showing me bottles of Patron. He's showing me bottles of Civic. And this is the whole content of his pictures. No words. You know what I mean? Blunts, all this. Like I've said to myself, on some real talk. Man, I ain't drinking who knows how long. I'm talking about a long time. I guess about 10 years. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say I always been on the straight. Now about 10 years, probably 10 years. I never liked weed. That wasn't my thing. It ain't my thing. You know what I mean? I'm a hyper dude. I don't want something that gonna hey, with nothing. I ain't never like that. That wasn't my thing, but nevertheless, he showed me blunts, he showed me weed, and so it came to a head, right? And I said to the brother, brother, we need to come together. I ain't tripping off that stuff. He said to me, nationality ain't gonna do it. Off the break. So he must be watching the videos because he's off the break. Now I'm trying to get the brother to stop sending me these pictures of Civic. I say, man, we 40 and better and still showing pictures of Civic. For real. Yeah, we still impressed off of bottles of Civic. Over 40 and better. We impressed over this stuff. Man, stop playing, man. Stop sending me that garbage. You know what I mean? I'm not with that. I've been taking a back seat. Right. I've been taking a back seat chilling, letting you do you. But hold up. Enough is enough. Stop sending me the pictures of the Civic. I ain't with it. I don't like Civic. I mean, I like the solid rocker foundation. I don't like that Civic stuff.
Islam. right.
Yeah, I like the solid rocker foundation. I don't like Civic. You know what I mean? So anyway, so he said nationality ain't gonna do it. I said, well, when you go to the corner store, because I know where he live at. He live in the hood in Baltimore. I said, when you go to the corner store and you go buy your blunt, I'm gonna show you, matter of fact, who sells you the blunt is going to show you what nationality does. When they take your money and they don't put it back into your hood, they're going to put it back into their neighborhood and help their nationality. Or they're going to send it back to their country and help their nationality. I say, they'll show you how nationality works if you don't want to hear from me. I said, when you go up there and you buy some drinks or whatever, because you already know the Koreans own the liquor stores. Not saying I ain't knocking the Korean hustle. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Because if you ain't gonna take over your own economic plight, who else but somebody else gonna do it? Choose take candy from a baby. 1 + 1 = 2. If you're not gonna open a business, or you're not gonna stop them from putting detrimental things into your community and they can get rich. 1 + 1 = 2 wherever you go on the planet Earth. They're going to make that 2 work. Now, So you go up there and buy your Civic, they're going to take your money, they're going to send it back to their nationality, nation, their people. You see? So that's how nationality works. But the brother tell me that nationality ain't going to do it. But the point that I'm getting to is, how did we get so outside of the loop of common sense? What has happened to us that we have gotten so outside of the loop of common sense? Like, it's very simple to me. To me, it's very simple to me. When you walk into Lexington Market and you see the Koreans, the Chinese, the Japanese, they own majority of the stalls in Lexington Market. Okay, lately they have been putting an Asiatic sister in there, and they don't let her touch the money, but they let her sell the chicken now. They let her dip out the chitlins now. Oh yeah, she can dip out them hug malls. She can dip out them. You know, just call on the phone. That's right, brother. Call it. She can dip out the hug malls. She can serve the fried chicken, that old greasy, dirty chicken. Hold on 1 second, family. Islam, family.
I asked Brother Taharka a few months ago about the beginnings. I have a picture of Moorish.
Hold on 1 second, my brother. Hold on 1 second, my brother. Islam family, we got a call. Brother, first and foremost, I want you to say your name, and we'll go from there. Come on, my brother. Say your name, say where you're from, and let's talk real quick. Let's go.
Okay, I'm Jude Nazareth calling from Tokyo.
Tokyo? We all the way from Tokyo? Oh, I done blew up. Hold up. I done blew up. I done blew up now. Watch out. I'm playing, my brother. Come on, my brother.
Talking right now. I asked a question a few months ago. I had a picture of Moorish Zionist temple. I don't know what city that was in.
That was in New York.
Cities, I think.
That was in Brooklyn, New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah. What happened with the is it a split? What happened? Like, because it seemed to be directed. I saw Hebrew writing, but now I see it kind of like Islamic side. Like, what happened?
Well,
okay, hold on.
Let me. I'll take that one more.
1 second, brother. Mute your mic for 1 second. I want him to clarify, because I did hear him, but I want to make sure everybody heard, and then I'm gonna let you take it, Grimmy. All right, now one more time, brother. Say it one more time.
All right. I saw a picture from maybe 30s. Zionist temple, and it was written in Hebrew. And
right.
I tried to research it. I didn't get much information, but it's like they were kind of leaning more towards the Torah or somewhat, somewhat. But now it's kind of like on the Islamic side. Like, what happened?
Okay, my brother gonna answer the question. Thanks for calling, my brother, and I'm gonna take another call because I want to get all the calls I can in, because we don't take calls often. Okay, my brother, are you good with that?
Okay. Yes.
Brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Thanks for watching. And we're gonna let my brother answer the question. Here you go, brother. Bring me on there. Come on in.
Islam. Yeah. I believe I understand the brother question, but I'm gonna answer it based upon what he was basically asking about the Moorish Zionist temple. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what happened to the Moorish Zionist temple?
Yes.
And he was saying how to transfer from Hebrew to Islamic based is from what I'm understanding the brother's question. But when the brothers see the Moorish Zionist, and it was a great question, by the way, when brothers see the Moorish Zionist temple, they have to understand that organization is totally unaffiliated with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, according to my research. And that organization was founded by the individuals, I should say, that was affiliated with that organization was Rabbi Matthews. If you do a research on the quote-unquote Black Hebrews or Rabbi Matthews, that's the brother that I believe is in the picture that's holding the Bible in one hand and holding his hand up. They later on, if I'm not mistaken, became the Ethiopian Hebrew congregation. And they always stuck strictly to Hebrewism, if you will, or Judaism, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. However, the teachings of a Moorish stream were being passed around, in the history about the Moors and the relationship between the Moors and Morocco and Hebrew were being passed around. You know, being the fact that this information was, you know, being touted by the prophet, and as quiet as it's kept, you know, by a few other individuals as well who may have come in contact with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So the bottom line is that it always came from an Islamic perspective, if you will, or I would more properly say a universal perspective, because the Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, also embraces in our questionnaire the great fathers through which Jesus came. And you know, we know Abraham being the father of that faith. We include that demonstration in our degrees as well. So it's no relationship between those two organizations.
Yeah, and I like to add to that the Moorish Zionists, it's kind of like what you said about when they say some of the great forefathers to what Jesus came, or Abraham, Boaz, Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon. And then you look at the relationship between Ruth the Moabitess, how she put together, how she entered into the house of Israel, if you will, you know, and she was a Moabitess. Basically, we are the same people in the same bloodline, because it says in our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Jesus is of the ancient Canaanite blood of the inhabitants of Africa. So these are the same people. You know, when we get caught up into the titles of things, we lose the point of what is really happening. And so when you look at the Moorish Zionists and you look at the Moorish Science Temple of America, they're separate organizations, but we're talking about a people that understand and recognize the bloodline that unifies them. But now when we're looking at the religion persuasion, that may change. You may have a Moor that took the faith of the Israelites. You may have an Israelite take the faith of a Moor. You know, it could be interchangeable, but I don't want to get too deep into the subject. But what I'm saying is we are the same people. We are the same people. That's the bottom line. With that being said, we can actually do some more homework on that. You know, I have something on that, but you know, that's a show within itself. Nevertheless, as this brother that called up, I'm gonna let him say his piece, but I'm gonna say this, my brother. The moment that you get disrespectful and you talk crazy and reckless, I will hang up on you. As I said before, I got brother Israel Doctrine on the line. He called in, and I'm going to say it one more time. I don't have no beef with nobody. Can't stand when people act like they got a beef with me, because all my beef's been squashed years ago. I don't have no beef with nobody, so I can't stand when people have a beef with me. But nevertheless, brother Israel Doctrine, I call you brother because you are, whether you accept it or not. My brother Israel Doctrine, coming to the chat. What's up, my brother?
Peace. How y'all doing over here tonight?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. If you need a recap, I can give you a recap. If not, you can go on in. But I want to make sure that you get my my sentiments and my comments correct. But if you think you heard me right, then come on in.
No, I just made it in, and you know, I was running around YouTube and I seen my name up, because most of the time I type it in to see what's going on. And so I seen I was on the night live over here, so I thought I'd call in. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
When you answered the phone, so. Okay,
brother. Let me tell you something. I don't know. You don't know me that well, obviously, because if you did, you wouldn't have came at me like that on your video. But I'm a realist first and foremost, brother. As you know and I know, I was trying to develop a show for you on Moorish World platform. Yet, obviously, I didn't develop it fast enough. Maybe I didn't develop it fast enough. I don't know. However, brother, but for you to see us doing a video about Operation Proclamation, and you come right behind the same day and say that the same time, Operation Proclamation, you mentioned Sharif's name, you mentioned Taharka Bey name. Brother, do you even know what Operation Proclamation is, for one? Number two, where does this ill will and sideway talk come from, brother?
Well, I heard you and Sharif and Reggie talk about Operation Proclamation on my show when you came over there. Now, you know, I called you up. I asked you to come over. You said peace, and you came over. And at the time you came over, you also gave out the link without asking me. But it was cool. I ain't had no problem with that and stuff. And we had a good show and everything. You even took pieces of it, put it up. Me and you talked about the SaNeter thing with the, you know, disrespectful sentiment that he was asking me to do, you know, some pedophilia type stuff. And you said it was getting messy and disrespectful, and that Ali Men's didn't really want it on the show and things of that nature. And I put all that information out there, which is fact. But in between time, you know, that Saturday when it was supposed to happen, I believe Chief Wade L. Lord Abba asked you to come over to the Pale Arab show. And you went over there, you explained to him that I was coming on that Saturday to do my show. It seemed as if he talked you out of it or
Let me stop you right there, brother. The brother, and I mentioned that on the show, and it's Basim. Basim said, I would not, if I was you, I wouldn't go over there. And I said, and I just said it tonight, I said my intentions was to still do the show. The only thing that changed my mind from doing this show, not only after I discussed it with my brothers and Ali's men, that we thought that the topic was too personal and not educational. Basim is what you refer to as the Pearl Arab. He said that. I did not know Basim, so I don't take Basim advice at that point. I don't know him. But nevertheless, my comrades and Ali's men say, brother, nothing against you. They didn't say nothing against the brother SaNeter. What they said was, let's not, I don't think that's a good idea because it sounds personal. And this platform is not for personal shots. So what I did was, hold on one second. Hold on one second. So what I did was I got in contact with SaNeter and I talked to SaNeter. SaNeter said to me, after the conversation, I'm not going to review it. After our conversation, SaNeter said to me, yeah, brother, maybe I shouldn't have went that far. That's what he said to me. And I said, well, okay, brother, since you said that to me, because we talked about children watching the show, we talked about young Marcus and all of that. I said, well, brother, I'm not going to do that. Hold on, my brother. Yes, sir. I said, I'm not going to do that show. I said, I'm going to develop another show. And I'm going to leave that alone. So hold up one second. Hey, brother, what's up with you? I want y'all to hold on for a second. See, I told you I blew up. SaNeter on the phone. He on the phone tonight. It's like, oh, hey, son. Hold up. Brother, I'm live on the air right now, brother. Brother, hold up. Y'all hold with me 1 second. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Come on, brother, I'm live.
Who, you talking to me or you talking to
somebody? No, ho. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. Right. Hold up. It's real doctrine.
Yeah.
Hold tight. Hold up, SaNeter. SaNeter, you breaking up. I want the people to hear this question, brother. Keep it respectful for me. All right, go ahead. Brother, I don't know where you at, brother, but you got too much in the background. All right, come on, let's go. I listen, the people can hear you too. I'm live. Come on.
Well, I'm asking you, brother. This is 2016. It's not 1911 or 1930. I'm asking you a question, brother. Do you think it would be fitting for the people living in this day and time to update the teachings of Taharka Bey? Is that a fair statement, or you say no?
So let me repeat your question. You saying that in 2016, the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali have to be updated. Is that your question? Okay. First of all, before I can answer that question, you must tell me which part of the teaching. You see, because I need to know specifically what you're talking about. If you can't tell me specifically what you're talking about, then that's just a random question that is really can't be clarified. So what part of the teaching? Can you hear me? All right, listen, this is the thing. The thing is, can you hear me? I got you. Stay right there. Hello? All right. First of all, if you're telling me that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teachings have to be updated, right? From 1913, from 1929 or whatever, through the 20s to 2016, first of all, you have to clarify which teaching are you talking about. Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teachings encompass everything, every aspect of life. So which part are you talking about? And don't say all, because you don't know all. Okay.
Now, when we do further research and science, we know that white really don't mean purity today. See? So that's one of the things that I'm talking about.
All right, let's stop right there. So you say the lessons, you say the lesson as it relates to white mean purity, purity mean God, and God mean rule of the land, right? Okay, now listen to the lesson clear. White mean purity. Europeans call themselves white. So ultimately, by default, they said that they're pure. Purity means God. Ultimately, they saying that they are God. God means ruler of the land. Right? I bet you when you went,
Islam, or let me get some of that too.
Hold on, I got you, brother. I bet you when you just went to Atlanta, you had to pay. If you drive to Atlanta, you're gonna have to pay the toll. He rules the land, right? If you go across the bridge, you're gonna pay a toll. He rules the land, right? He's calling himself God, and he's implementing the God effect on your life as we speak. You can't even use your cell phone without his permission. He can cut your cell phone off. White mean purity, purity mean God, God mean rule of the land. He is stealing your position in the world and replaced it with himself. We're not saying in the literal sense that that's who he is. That's the road that he's making it. So for you to be aware, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali put it in such a way that he who calls himself white is calling himself God right before your face. He's telling you that he's God, and you can't go nowhere without his permission. Try to travel to Maryland and see how many tolls you got to pay. Grimy Arnell, my brother going to touch it in a minute. Grimy Arnell, come on in, brother.
Right, and basically, more you basically said so much is the same thing that I was going to say. And you know, the genius in what Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, and that's why, you know, and much respect, brother SaNeter, peace and blessings to you, brother, man. You know, with that being said, um, you have to read all of Prophet Noble Drew Ali's picture of the literature to get a picture of what he's saying in that regard. And when you get a questionnaire, you know, Noble Drew Ali is not saying, if you know, it's a whole bunch of sciences that could be read into the white thing, but most importantly, if you read the sequence
That's
of
right.
questions and how Noble Drew Ali was saying it, you know, basically, man, he was taking a big swipe at the Europeans.
Hey, and with that being said, SaNeter, with that being said, the next time I come to New York, I'm going to sit down and show you how the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is trying to give you a high science and how the European is using this high science against us right now in real time.
Right. And
So the thing
that's
is, so real quick, Grimmy on here, the thing is, no, it don't have to be updated. We have not caught up with the science. We want to discard it before we even understand it. It's not saying that the European is God. It's saying that he's making himself God. Travel the roads and see how many taxes you got. You got to pay a property tax when you buy a house. Rule of the land. You got to pay for water. Rule of the land. He's calling himself God, and he's implementing his God degree right before our face. Right before our face. And we so caught up on saying that no, white don't mean that. White don't mean that. Well, I tell you what. Travel from Connecticut to New York and see how many tolls you're going to pay and see who's ruling the land. White mean purity. He's saying he's pure and you're foul.
right.
We know it's not so, but that's what he's telling you.
Right. It's called European psychology.
European psychology. And he used the term black. He uses, not us. Our forefathers never referred to ourselves as black. He used that term black, codified it, that when you call yourself that, you have identified yourself as one who knows nothing. Yes, sir. Say it again. What? Check this out. Check this out. You said, where is the, I want to make sure that the people hear this. Hold up. You said, where is the Moors? That's I'm gonna repeat it already. You said, where is the Moors on the when we speaking of police brutality, right? Huh?
Islam, can you hear me?
Okay, you said, okay, you said, where's the Moor voice when it comes to police brutality and so-called white supremacy, right?
Islam, bro.
All right. Islam, Ali Bey, hold on. The thing is this, brother, you're not going to see every time you turn around a Moor on the front line with a fez on. But just because you don't see the fez don't mean he's not a Moor. Just because he's not yelling he's a Moor doesn't mean he's not a Moor. You understand what I'm saying? So for instance, during the riots, right? During the riots in Baltimore, I was in the midst of the riots. I got the footage, but I wasn't running around saying I was a Moor. That's unnecessary, because check this out. As I know and you know, they could care less if I'm a Moor protesting or if I'm an Asiatic, a Negro, or quote unquote black person protesting. I don't have to yell at the top of my voice that I'm a Moor.
The Moors in St. Louis, Islam, the Moors in St. Louis was on the front line.
The Moors,
yeah.
The Moors in St. Louis. The thing is, Moors.
They was on the front line when that Moor got killed. Mike Brown got killed. I forgot the number of the temple, but I can remember watching CNN and seeing the Grand Sheik at the front of the protest with a
Yeah,
fez on,
brother Tim,
representing.
brother Tim Anderson L was out there. The Moors
Tim
was out. Let me
Anderson
say
L and
this.
several other brothers.
Let me say this. I don't know if the brother can hear, but when stuff gets thick, like it did in Ferguson, the Moors was out there. The Nation of Islam was out there. The Black Panthers was out there. These particular groups were out there. Specifically, Islamic groups were out there. Even the Hebrew Israelites was out there when the stuff was getting thick. The people that I did not see was the people that claim to be RBG, this, that, and the other, all of these cartels and so forth that are on YouTube claiming to be the bangers of the beast. These are the people that were not there. Even when stuff happened in South Carolina, when stuff got thick down there in South Carolina, there was a brother from South Carolina that made a video talking about them brothers from 125th Street that are always out there jaw-jacking. And he was saying that none of these guys came down there to South Carolina when them white supremacists were threatening those people after that Dylan Roof dude killed those people in that black church.
Let me say this, Ali Bey, brother SaNeter. Listen, the thing is this, brother. This is our fight. It's not a Moorish fight. It's not a so-called black. Yeah, brother. This is our fight. This is not a Moorish fight. We got to stop separating where are the Moors when it comes to this. The Moors are there. But we got to stop. It's not a Moorish fight. It's not a black power fight. It's not that sort of fight. It's our fight. So if you don't see the Moors, then go get them. It's our fight. It's our fight, brother. You can't talk about where the Moors at, brother. You got to ask yourself, where are you?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I think that's a very...
We got to stop trying to hold other people accountable before we hold ourselves accountable.
That's a very, very important point that brother Grimmy RL brought up, the Mike Brown case, because that situation got really, really thick out there. You're talking about a militarized police force coming against the civilian population of black people in that particular city. All right. And when that happened, all over CNN, there was a brother right out there facing them cops with a fez on. Okay.
Right.
Temple Moore, not even a rogue Moore. This is a Temple Moore.
Temple Moore, that's right.
This brother was all over CNN, all throughout different various magazines and publications and so forth. I just sent the brother tons and tons of pictures of himself and other Moors out there with fezzes on in the midst of all of that chaos that was taking place in Ferguson, Missouri. So no, this is a fabrication. This is a fabrication, and it's a line of BS that's being fed to people for the purpose of views on YouTube, and that's nonsense. And go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
let's not get into that because I want to have a good dialogue, man. I don't want to throw no shots. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this, SaNeter. What I'm saying is this. Instead of, as I said, Brother Ali Bey, instead of saying where are the Moors at, instead of saying, where are the Moors at? Where am I? Who did I galvanize to go to North Carolina? Who did I galvanize to stop something? You know, as we point out, the Moors, hey, brother, let me tell you something. The Moors have, in the past, was relaxed. The Moors have in the past have been in the temples. The Moors have been walking past you. The Moors have been building in the streets on a certain level that you probably didn't notice them. Brother,
Islam Moor, if I can interject real quick.
Those days are gone. Yes, sir, brother.
You brought something to my memory because man, as a matter of fact, the Moors was there when Emmett Till was murdered, because I think brother Sharif Bey put something up the other day, a few months ago, showing the Moors. And I think it was either Sharif Bey or Tunica L put some video clips up of the Moors fezzed up, you know what I'm saying, at the funeral of Emmett Till. And that was probably before all of us was born.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then let me just add this. When Mansabal Bey, the Moorish American Muslim that got murdered by that cop in St. Louis, I believe that was also in St. Louis. Mansabal Bey got murdered by that cop. The one thing that you did not hear Moorish Americans do was complain about black people not coming to their aid. They dealt with the situation the way that they dealt with it. Good, bad, and indifferent, however anybody felt about it, they handled the business of that particular situation the way they handled it. And the one thing they did not do was complain that nobody from the Black Power community came to their aid. They never complained about that. The one thing that Moors don't do is they never ask other Black people, what have they done for the Moors? The same way people are always asking Moors, what have the Moors done for Black people? Where the schools that Moors, no Moor will ever say, Black people have not done anything for us Moors, or what have you, why aren't y'all doing anything for, how come y'all are not building schools for us Moors and this and that? I think that is so childish and ridiculous. And the people that are saying that really need to stop and listen to themselves when they're talking and see how foolish they actually sound. Stop the nonsense. Yeah. Nobody owes you anything. All right. If you're a grown man, you handle your business as a grown man. If it's for you to organize a community of people to become active in their own salvation, then that's what you do. Stop talking about what somebody else is doing for you, whether or not they're speaking for you. You got a voice. Speak for yourself. You ain't gonna never hear no more talking about what have Black people done for us. That's so ridiculous.
Right, and one more thing, more it is that we know, and with respect to the the brother SaNeter, and I understand he's been riding on this for a long time, and I hope he getting some clarification, in this regard, because even if we get into the different things that Moors do in regards to other organizations, I think there's a Moorish sister, Taharka Bey. She sits in some of the highest seats in the UNIA, the original UNIA that was formed by Marcus Garvey. I myself, am a member of Marcus Garvey's organization. I was one of the charter members of Black Star Line Division 446 in New Orleans, Louisiana. So it's not like these. I was there during the protest when this brother they served a warrant on this brother's house, and he woke up out the bed, went to the stairwell, and the police shot him in the chest, with a shotgun. So I was there at the meetings. I was there, when the people stood outside the federal court. I was there when the NAACP called the Universal Community Meetings during the trial after Hurricane Katrina, when the police cut that brother head off and put him inside of a car and burned him up. I know I was there. I didn't dream it. I didn't watch it on YouTube. I was there when all that stuff was taking place, when the community was galvanized. So, man, I just want to, brother SaNeter, to take a more of a broader and a more universal look, right, at the activity of Moors.
Hey, brother SaNeter, I want to say this before I close on this segment right here.
Roy Bey want to say something.
Hold up. Let me say this, SaNeter. If I tell you that I know the plan of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I show it to you, I can paintbrush it and show you this picture clear. Not you putting on a fez, not you coming through a temple, but would you support in the plan of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to show you the plan of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Next time I come to New York, I'm going to try to get up there at the next debate. I'm going to try my best. But I'm telling you, I want to show you the plan. Now, what I'm saying is that us Moors and those who not subscribing to Moorish science need to understand that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the plan. I don't think many Moors have been good at expressing it. I think Ali's men, brothers on this panel, they know the plan. Now it's up to us to bring the plan to the masses. And then we galvanize and make the difference happen. This is not temple talk. This is not YouTube talk. This is really our livelihood. that we're talking about, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the plan, and the phrase has been coined around the plan called Operation Proclamation. You can't go wrong with it. Period, point blank. But Brother Roy Bey, what's up, Brother Islam? Yes, sir.
You come, I hope you come, brother. But I definitely want to give you the platform to talk to the people for about a good 10 minutes and let you go in. You already know. Brother Roy Bey, go ahead, Roy.
Islam, Brother Taharka Bey, and to all the callers and listeners on.
Hold on, Roy Bey. Islam, everybody. Hold on, Roy Bey. Islam, everybody. This is my brother Roy Bey. You might just seen him on the video with SaNeter riding in the car. I think the brother did a wonderful job on that video. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check it out. I think the brother gave a clear representation on how to stand on your square as it relates to his understanding of Moorish Science Temple. I think he did a wonderful job, and I appeal to you. I want you to go check it out and listen to my brother, because my brother he actually put SaNeter in his place. But anyway, God, I didn't know I ain't the one to gossip. Go ahead, brother Roy.
All praise is due to Allah. Brother, I thank you for that acknowledgement. But the statement or question I would like to make or ask, so in light of these recent and multiple police killings, the police officers in the United States of America, they kill under what is called color of law. If anyone does not know what color of law is, I suggest you look it up and research it, in particular you as well, Brother SaNeter. Color of law admits in its own legal document that it is wrong for the cops to do these things. However, as long as the color of law is still a legal document on the American table, they can kill and abuse people and get the not guilty verdict under color of law. This law, I believe it came out around 1876 or somewhere like in the 18th century could have been, right? And they started this whole thing with color of law after 1865, Abraham Lincoln's supposed Emancipation Proclamation. So we can argue with each other, but if we allow these laws to persist as legal acts on the books, then these crimes will continue to take place. So we'll be out there screaming black power. We'll be out there, you know, doing a multitude of things trying to get justice for a law that only we could change. And this is some of the information I was trying to stress in that conversation as it relates to law. Mike Huckabee, who ran against President Obama, he said recently that the Dred Scott decision, the law of the land, maybe 2 years ago.
I don't want to cut you off, but I got to ask you a question real quick for the interest of the people and for the interest of time. So what is the solution?
Right. The solution, in my judgment, would be for us to research these laws that are very hostile to us and do all that we can to have these laws overturned. And then we can proceed from there. Maybe if these things continue...
Let me tell you what you're doing again. Brother.
Maybe if these things persist to happen to us, we can start to get some form of remedy and start to have people getting convicted. Police officers and people who harm us are not being convicted, in particular police, because of color of law. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, brother, much respect. Much respect to what you're saying. But let me tell you something, my brother, just to add on to what you're saying. Not to discount what you're saying, but to add on what you're saying. Operation Proclamation is predicated on being the law, meaning this: we don't try to overturn the law, we get in the position to make the law.
It's law, praise the law.
We don't try to, we don't, let me finish. We don't write the councilman. We don't write the councilman. We become the councilman. We don't write the mayor. We become the mayor. We don't fight the judge. We become the judge. You see, this is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali way. So all of those shuffling paperwork and getting paper cuts, begging for something, those days are gone.
Right.
Those days are gone. So any organization Any organization is predicated upon asking somebody for something by shuffling some paperwork. It's gone today. Brother, you doubling up on me.
I have it all for you, brother Taharka. Wait, SaNeter, hold on. SaNeter, hold on, brother. And listen. Hey.
Come on, brother. Let's hurry up and wrap it up because we gotta go to the next thing, brother. Let's go.
All right. Now, if you go back to that video I just did with brother SaNeter, what you saying is exactly what I was telling him. We need to get a representative in Congress so we can start to move the pieces across the
No, brother, listen. Again. See, that sounds like a dream. That sounds like a dream. We need to get somebody in Congress. No, your local politics.
Taharka. Over to Taharka.
Yes, sir.
Islam.
You can't.
Brother,
Can't
let's
hear him,
move on.
Mo.
Brother, we're going to move on to the next subject. Hey, brother, Roy Bay, I'm going to have to get you on for a whole show, brother. But we got to keep the show moving and moving to the next show. SaNeter, Roy Bay, any parting words? Any parting words, brother?
Peace, Taharka. I just want to say peace, my brother, and we got to find a way, brother Taharka, where we can come together. What do we need to do to come together? Because Roy Bay said we need to claim our nationality. Brother, we ain't going to do that.
But we don't need you. Listen. Listen. You know what? I'm going to give you this real quick, brother, and then I'm going to hang it up. You know what we need to come together? What we need to do to come together is this. What we need to do to come together is this. In Harlem, we find a local person that we can become friends with that is qualified to be the politician to represent us. We get him to run or get her to run, and we get behind that person. You call the Moors out to vote. You call the so-called Black Power out to vote. You call the Hebrews out to vote. And we get this person in office. That's Operation Proclamation. What you do not, you don't have to put on a fez. I'm not calling myself black. But if we find the person that has the interest for all of our people, that can represent us, that is responsible, and that's going to do the work that help our children's children, we all get behind. If I'm in Baltimore and we need some feet on the ground to push the agenda, I come to New York. My brother Grimmy Arliel, he down south, he comes to New York. We all galvanize our people in that area, and we put our person in office, and we move forward, and then to the next city, to the next city, to the next city. This is what Brother Sharif was saying at the debate when he was interrupted. This is what he was saying. But until then, we're going to have conflict. We're going to have conflict because you think I don't want to be black. You think you need to proclaim your nationality. No, that's not the case. The case is we need to come together and get behind a candidate that has the best interest of our people in the long term. Ali, come on in, brother.
If I could say something, the proclamation of nationality is not an act of government. It's not an official act. What it is a public statement letting people know, based on the prophet's context. It was a public statement to let people know that we as Moors are just as much Americans as anybody else and have the same rights as everybody else in this country. It's not an act that's going to save people from the racist activities of race soldiers pretending to be police officers or so forth. That's not what that's for. If you want to talk about what you can do to come together, one of the things that you can do, particularly if you want to become active, is join some kind of civic organization, because organization is very important when you start talking about a movement of people. You can't have a loose group of people running around, everybody with all of these different ideas, everybody think that they got something to say. People are going to have to join organizations, and particularly join with organizations who have a track record in the thing that it is that you're trying to do. And if it
Right.
is the issue of civil and political rights in this country, then that means you should join with, if you're smart, you're going to join with organizations who have a track record in working in the areas of civic and political rights for the citizenry. All right. That's if that's what you're truly concerned about. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what the prophet said. Go to those who know. And in this particular instance, we're talking about political minded people, civic minded people. Civics, like I said before, civics is the branch of political science that deals with the rights and duties of citizenship. All politicians, all people in office act under the color of law. The
Right.
color of law just means the appearance of the law.
Right.
Now,
Islam.
the
Right.
problem then comes in if they do something illegal while they're acting in the capacity of color of law. Color of law itself is not the problem. The problem is when these people violate the laws, when they're acting in the appearance as if they are acting in accordance with law. That's all color of law means. Go to the definition of color of law, look it up. It's not anything spooky. Judges, police officers, politicians all act
Right.
under the color of law or under the appearance of law until or unless you can identify that they're acting outside of the laws or the bounds of the laws or the procedures or policies that they're supposed to be performing under. That's all
Right.
that means. So
Islam.
go
That's
ahead, brother
correct,
man.
Moore. Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what Brother Ali said in that regard, because the brother Roy Bey, and peace and respect and love to that brother, but the way he came on and presented the color of law is like the color of law was a document itself, or there was a name of a particular law or a document called color of law. Basically, color of law is basically a concept, but not a document itself. And basically, the color of law refers to the legal power to act, but which may
That's right.
operate in violation of the law at the same time. That's basically what Ali is saying. And there's not a document called color of law. So, I want to correct my brother in that regard when he said that this document called the color of law is why police, if you will, kill young Asiatic brothers in the street. No, that's incorrect. And the reason why the police kill Asiatic brothers in the street is because they hate Asiatic brothers. I mean, let's just stop playing like it's a particular document that gives Europeans the right to kill Asiatics because some super secret document or law lets them kill us. That's not true. They kill us because they're ignorant and they hate Asiatics. Now, why do
Fact.
they get off? And the reason why they get off is because of the same reason that Ali's men, Sharif Bey, Tunica L, all the brothers of Ali's men say in Operation Proclamation, they basically get off because the decks have been stacked. And as a matter of fact, I had a meeting with the United Nations where I told the special rapporteur of the United Nations the exact same thing. Basically, what you have is these police officers who have children and cousins and sons, brothers, nieces, and nephews who were raised and put through law school by police officers. So they become district attorneys, they become judges, and so on and so forth. And their legal education has been financed by people who are in the law enforcement profession. So they've been raised around these guys, so they are partial to these guys, so they are much more likely to let these individuals go free on charges because the deck has been stacked. It ain't no super secret document called the color of law that let these individuals go. That's asinine. And then on top of that, basically what you do, you also have to study is the grand jury process. This
Yes.
grand jury process is a problem. You study that and then you begin to attack the laws from within the system that creates what we call these things, grand juries. Because I was speaking in the temple the other night in regards to the same thing, and I asked everybody, anybody, have they ever served on the grand jury? And no one in the temple raised their hand. But I asked them, have they ever served jury duty? And a couple of people in the temple raised their hand. Now, with that being said, basically what I'm telling you all is that these grand juries pull from individuals who are rich, affluent, Republican, conservative, and Christian. And these people are less likely, they'll indict corrupt Asiatic politicians, but they are several times less likely to indict police officers who kill Asiatic young men because of that slight of the ham myth. But
Yes.
I'm not going to go there. But
Yeah.
the bottom line, they hate Asiatics, and that's why they kill them, not because of some legal document.
Brother Taharka, could I just add to
Yes,
that?
yes, come on, brother. Then I want to come in. I'm gonna let my brother Israel Doctrine finish what he was getting to. But come on, brother.
All right. So yeah, also what you're looking at is use of force laws. You're looking at the use of force laws that support the activities of racist cops, whereby they're able to use that in order to get a grand jury to agree that the killing was justifiable homicide. Even when it's ruled a homicide, they're able to use the use of force laws in their favor, and the bias of the people on the grand jury, which the grand jury proceeding itself is what's called an ex parte. If you understand what ex parte means, then you know that that's a problem. It's an ex parte proceeding, meaning it's a one-sided proceeding. And if, like the brother's saying, the decks are stacked because you have biased prosecutors and you have biased people in the grand jury itself, you're going to get what wound up happening in the Mike Brown case, where the prosecutor was actually making the case for the cop when he was supposedly seeking an indictment. He didn't really want an indictment. He wanted to make the case for the police officer because that person who was in the prosecutor's office had a background in law enforcement or some relation with law enforcement himself.
Right.
Okay. And then what happens is you have to also, when we start talking about police policy, what you're talking about is the general police orders of any municipality, whether it's the general police orders or the police manuals, where in there they are instructed on how they're supposed to act when they encounter civilians in the street. All of that stuff is laid out. It's laid out by the municipality. Okay. And it's either in the police manuals, like it is in New York City, they have what's called the police manual. In a lot of different locales, they call general police orders. And that stuff trickles down. All of it has to be in accord with the state constitution and the federal constitution. All right. So these are things that you have to look at when you're talking about police reform, because this is an issue that's going to take political minds and legal minds to combat. This is not something that you can just sell wolf tickets about. You're going to actually have to be involved in government or be involved with people who are involved in government in order to make the changes that you're looking for. Marching and rallying and so forth, that's good. Awareness and to raise awareness to problems that many of us already know about. But the fact of the matter is, in order to make the changes that you need to make, you're going to have to become involved in your government. You're going to need to know. You're going to need to know what council district you live in. You're going to need to know what congressional district you live in. You're going to need to know who your congressman is. You're going to need to participate in the midterm elections. You're going to need to stop talking about voting doesn't work, because voting is your voice in a republic. Do you understand what a republic is? If you live in a republic, how can you say that voting doesn't count? How can you say that voting has no power if you live in a republic and understand what a republic is?
This is my thing. My
Go
thing
ahead,
is
brother.
this. I think we're just uneducated voters. I think when Prophet Noble Drew Ali demonstrate the block vote, you know, I understand getting with a lot of civic organizations and things of that nature. That's fine. But when I look at the Prophet Noble Drew Ali template, when I look at his template, his organization, the Moorish Temple of America, created their own block vote. And to me, I see the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's demonstration as a prophecy that we must fulfill, meaning that we must create organizations or use the temple as our base, if need be, to create block votes, to get our people in position to affect change. You know, when you're telling somebody to vote, when you tell somebody to vote, sure, they go up there and say, I'm a Democrat. Oh, that's a Democrat, I'll vote. No, we need to manufacture our candidate, and we need to put them in office.
But
This
yes,
happens
that's
all the
ideal.
time.
That's ideal,
All
bro.
the time.
But listen to this. It goes so much further than that. It goes so much further than just the idea of putting your candidate in office, because that's a great thing and that's something that needs to be done. It needs to be done. But you also got to be able to, if you can't do that, you also have to be able to hold the people that are in office who are supposed to be representatives of your particular constituency. You have to be able to know how to hold those people accountable. You have to be organized enough to be able to do that. Then let me just say this, the November 8th election that's coming up, it's not just for the presidency. Okay, you have 34 seats in the Senate, a senatorial election that's coming up, 34 seats that's up for re-election. 10 Democrat, 24 Republicans. All right, so when we're talking about voting, and we hear a lot of millennials, this has been an issue, a lot of millennials who are saying they're not going to vote because they get quote, all politics are local. And I think that that concept is throwing people off. I posted about that a couple of days ago. The concept that all politics are local is throwing people off. The presidential election is extremely important. Whether you like Clinton or whether you like Trump or not, the presidential election is extremely important. The senatorial elections are extremely important because it is the president and the senators who put into place federal judges. When you start talking about the issue of mass incarceration, what are you looking at? When you start talking about the issue where one of the candidates wants to implement stop and frisk nationwide, a practice that has been ruled. But let me just finish this point, brother, because this is important. A practice that has been ruled unconstitutional by a federal judge in Brooklyn. That same federal judge was removed by a member of 3 federal judges. She was removed for ruling that particular practice to be unconstitutional. They didn't like the fact that she did it. So these race soldiers who are pretending to be federal judges removed this woman because they want to maintain the status quo. They wanted to maintain the fact that stop and frisk was being utilized, even though the percentages in terms of the crime, it shows that had no effect on the criminal activity in New York City whatsoever. As a matter of fact, once they stopped stop and frisk in New York City, the crime actually went down. The assistant police commissioner even spoke on it himself. He did an article on the whole piece. So the bottom line is, when we're talking about voting, I'm just saying, because a lot of people don't understand that voting is just one step in a democratic process. After you vote, you have to follow up. You have to understand what's going on. You have to understand what you're even looking at. Most of our people don't even understand what they're looking at.
That's where I'm at.
So that you talk about the uninstituency. I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to get this out because it's important. You have to follow up. You have to understand how government works. Why are the senators important?
Everybody is not going to, and we already know this from everybody is not going to educate themselves on that level. And
this is why I'm trying to lay it out.
I'm gonna let you go, brother. I'm gonna let you go with it. I'm gonna let you run. But everybody's not going to educate themselves on that level. But if I can show you on the local level, I think that's why people are using local politics. Because if I can show you on the local level that you 1,500 people can put a councilman in office, and this councilman can take your tax dollars and make your life different, I think then that same people will be influenced and inspired to even go to the next level of being educated on voting. Because when we're talking about the Senate vote and the judge vote, man, come on, man. We're talking about people that roll blunts every day. We talk about people that's worrying about is they going to get fired because they had to stay home and wait till a baby daddy or whoever came home to watch the child so they can go to work at McDonald's. We're talking about these sorts of people. But if we can show that you can put a councilman in office, regardless of what your economic or your livelihood is, that you can put a councilman in office, right? And within a few weeks, we can put some bills on the table. I think that will be educational enough to inspire to go to the next level of the voting. That's just my opinion. Because when you're talking about the Senate and you're talking about all this, man, you got to listen to who we telling this to.
No doubt. And what you're saying is right and exact. And I think that what people have to do is begin to get involved locally. If you can create a block association, people want to know what can they do? What can they do? What can I do? What can we do to bring about change? What can we do to come together? You want to do something to come together? Create a block association. All right. Join the parents teachers organizations and where your kids are going to schools.
Hey, brother Ali, I don't mean to cut you off. That's exactly what I'm saying. If we can organize right there locally, that same organization can implement and inspire and teach people of the next level of voting. But I don't think we're going to be able to spring from not voting, not caring about voting, to all the way to the Senate voting. I don't think that's...
If I can interject real quick, I just wanted to say this, and I made a video about in this regard earlier, and this is my analogy, Brother Taharka.
Yes, sir.
And even the brothers talk about, oh, that stuff belonged to the quote unquote white man, and we ain't got to do this. Well, what you go do then? Because I equate it like this: all of those people who are saying that there's constant planes flying to any place in the world that you want to go, and you can go there. But if you're not going to go there, you're on this ship. And I always tell people my Navy story, right? In this regard, because I did it earlier. In the Navy, fires used to break out on ships all the time. And people who are sailors know what I'm talking about. There is nowhere else you're going to go and run. When you're out, you can run out of a house and then you're in the street. But when you're at sea, there's nowhere to run. So guess what? You better run and put that fire out, or you're going to be somewhere at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And that's the same way with America. And America is this ship that we on. And this fire that's burning right now, if we don't put this fire out by civic activity, this ship is going to sink.
Yes, sir.
And it ain't going to just sink for me. But, I want all the brothers to go look at their children, hug them, kiss them. You understand? That baby that's in the bed sleep right now, that newborn baby, that old lady, grandmoms, sweet mom, or whatever the little nicknames you got, nan, they go all suffer. They go all suffer if this ship go down. And we let these, like Ali Bey say, if we let the European psychology of these race soldiers destroy this country, ain't nowhere we can turn this demonstration to a better place. But people have to get up. And that's what we saying. That's what the brothers and Ali's men saying. Get up and do something. Don't let the ship sink or whatever while you sitting over there on one side talking about, oh, this bulkhead is hot. When we going down, I told y'all we was falling. What you gonna do? You ain't swimming and landing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded to uplift fallen humanity. And the prophet gave us the concepts clearly in the Moorish leaders or in the divine warning rather. And that we had to do we all go suffer in this demonstration. And even by extension, all of the other planets, all of the other countries on the planet Earth go suffer if this demonstration fall. You want to talk about, you know, these people talk about revolution more. Let me say this to Taharka Bey. Man, these people ain't ready for no warfare. I
No,
remember
sir.
the first time I shot an M16, I said, I don't ever want nobody to point one of these things at me again. They got people that ain't ready for all of this warfare and all of this revolution that they talking about. And that don't make me a coward. That don't make you a coward. You want to see your children die in the street. So guess what? We gonna handle this by a comprehensive program of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Islam. Islam. And on the real, and I wanna hang glide, if you may, on my brother Ali's point. My brother Ali Bey is very versed in civics, you know, and there is a group of us that can comprehend my brother's civics. And I mean comprehend them to the level. And so because we got a brother like that in Ali's men, you know, this brother, he should be able to galvanize those that can comprehend the next level of voting. So those don't discount, because that's not what we do in Ali's men, and that's not what we do as Moors. So don't think I'm discounting what my brother is saying. I'm saying my lane is this, but we have another lane in which he's speaking about, and we have to attack from all angles, because this European that seeks to destroy and seeks to keep us from rising is attacking from all angles. And so civics has to be hit locally, they have to be hit nationally, you know, and inshallah internationally. It has to be done every angle, and I can't say that enough. But
Now
brother, come on, brother. Let's
let me
get
finish
brief.
tying it in.
I want my brother
Israel
Israel
Doctrine.
Doctrine come in.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
I don't mean to disrespect it and be long-winded with the brother, because that's not my style. But come on now, Ali, let's go, brother.
No doubt. Let me just finish tying it in why the presidential election is important. The president, along with the Senate, appoints federal judges, whether that be to the circuit or the district courts. These are federal appointments. So when you start dealing with the issue of stop and frisk, like Donald Trump wants to implement nationwide, right? This is something that's going to wind up being dealt with on a federal level, because now what you're talking about is a constitutional, whether or not this is a constitutional violation. So the bottom line is you have to always think about what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay, when you understand, and I said what I was talking about earlier, the science of government, when you understand government structure, when you understand how this particular republic functions, good night, baby girl, when you understand how this government functions, all right, and how this thing is structured, and how the Senate plays its role, how the congressmen play their role, you understand what I'm saying? When we're talking about the issue of stop and frisk, which is oftentimes being utilized to initiate the types of confrontations that we're seeing that are leading to the deaths of many of these young black males, right? When you start talking about this issue of stop and frisk, you have to understand the role of the presidency in appointing Supreme Court justices. You have to understand the role of the president when it comes to appointing federal judges on the circuit and district court. Right, because these are the people, and this is where this stuff is going to wind up playing out on the federal level. It's not going to really happen on the state level. Okay, it's going to wind up happening on the federal level because it's already been pushed to that place by the Brooklyn judge. So now what's going to happen is other states, if it even comes to that, will wind up following suit, and it wind up becoming a federal issue that's going to wind up at the Supreme Court. So what you don't want is to have a president in office who's going to slant the Supreme Court in favor of his type of thinking, so that when he gets in there and these types of issues come before the Supreme Court, they wind up getting shot down in favor of racist police. Okay, when we're trying to fight for our lives in this country, this is a fight. And this is what I was telling somebody the other night. You are in a fight. You are in a fight for your life. You're in a fight to save your family, like the brother Grimion L was saying. This is a fight. You have to understand that you're in a fight, and that you got to be a thinking person in order to engage these people in this level of fighting. You have to be a thinking person. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to accomplish anything. So yes, The local elections are extremely important, but we're facing a national election right now in front of us, and we have to understand what it is we're looking at. I know, brother, trust me, brother Taharka, I get the importance of the local elections and the state elections. I get that. But right now, what we're facing on November 8th is the national election for the president. And many people, because they don't like either candidate, don't know what to do and have decided that what they're going to do is withhold their votes. No, you have to vote your conscience. You have to vote your conscience. All right, because the fact of the matter is there's a lot at stake. The issue of mass incarceration is at stake. The issue of national health care is at stake, because if one of those candidates gets in office, many of our people who cannot afford health care are going to lose it if it's up to this particular candidate getting in office. That's very, very, very important. Having health care coverage for yourself and your children. That's important. That was a great accomplishment of this particular administration. And this guy wants to come in and remove that. So do we love Hillary Clinton? No, we don't love Hillary Clinton. But we have to understand what we're looking at. And when we're talking about voting your conscience, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. This is not just about her. This is about those federal judge appointments when it comes down to the issue of mass incarceration. It's about the Supreme Court justices that will get appointed when it comes down to the issue of stop and frisk, which is going to wind up coming in front of the Supreme Court sooner or later, whether or not it's constitutional or not.
The next president may have to put at a minimum 3 Supreme Court justices in office, and that's at a minimum. So imagine if they do 8 years and all of those Supreme Court justices, with the exception of the chief Supreme Court justice right now, are very, very old people.
Right.
And their appointments are for life.
They are for life. They are for life. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Ginsburg is looking to step down soon.
As well as Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas hinted at stepping down, and we have the rest of them are old. We don't know when they're going to go. So let's hypothetically say you withhold your vote and you have a Donald Trump appointing 3 to 4 Supreme Court justices. The Supreme Court as it is already conservative, and the only moderate that is up to be how would you say ratified by Congress has been blocked out and probably won't be appointed until after this election. So you're looking at 3 to 4 Supreme Court justices, and you're going to withhold your vote. So the brother is right. This is nothing to play with.
The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that the vote or the ballot or casting your ballot or the vote is sacred. I was explaining to someone just last night, and I told you this, Grimion L. I was explaining to them why the vote is sacred. Why would this man say the vote is sacred? I said the vote is your voice. I said to this person, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man and woman is God. Before that, Noble Drew Ali taught that Allah and man are one. If this is the case, and that Allah is the highest self in man, when we tell you to vote your conscience or voice your conscience, we're telling you to use that God voice and speak on behalf of yourself, because it is, in fact, the citizenry that confers the sovereign power to the government. If you don't understand that you are the sovereign power and that you are conferring that sovereign power to this government, then you're lost. And the prophet went on to say that anyone who fails to cast their sacred ballot at the polls has cut themselves off from all rights of an American citizen. If you understand what a republic is, and that it is a representative form of government, how else do you confer or speak your conscience to your representatives except by way of voting, which is just one part of the democratic process?
Islam. With that, brother, I gotta let Israel Doctrine say his piece, brother. So with that, brother Israel.
Peace, what up?
My apologies, brother. You see, this is a show that was not designed, or shall I say, was made in for a certain agenda. This was a show that it was going to take on a life of its own. When I talk to the brothers about the show, I say, you know, this is one of them shows that I'm going to speak on a few things and it's going to take on a life of its own. I say it's going to be a freestyle and let it go. Let people call in. So anyway, brother, I still got my thought, what I was saying and where we were at. But nevertheless, the last thing I said to you, why did you feel the need to go so left field?
Well, number one, I had time while y'all was talking to listen to the thing, so it didn't matter to me that y'all was talking. And I heard you try to explain what happened. And no, I didn't have you on my show so I can get on your show and promote my name on your show.
No, somebody said that in the chat, brother. Somebody said that in the chat, and I responded.
I listened to the whole thing. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying to make the record straight, right? To make the record straight, because I'm addressing what you stated earlier.
Okay, come on.
Had the opportunity to listen to it. And you stated to Basim on his show that I was going to be on there that Saturday because you was doing the show there Friday night. And so you said, a Moorish American Muslim don't make a statement that he can't stand on.
That's right.
See, I was going to be on the show the other night. So you said you didn't agree to anything. You didn't have to agree. You made a bold, clear-cut statement with no additives, no flavor, no nothing.
Okay, stop. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there for 1 second. I say a Moorish American don't make a statement that he can't stand on. And I was going to have you on the show. Now, let me tell you something else about a Moorish American, and I'm not backpedaling at all. We are taught in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I must concur, that a wise man changes his mind often. A fool is one who's stuck.
Obstinate.
He knows everything. He's obstinate. He's stuck. He knows everything but his own ignorance. After considering that this was going to be a personal attack between you and SaNeter, speaking with my brothers and Ali's men, and SaNeter said he's standing down, I didn't see it was a good idea. SaNeter told me personally, and I can call him up right now, that he was wrong.
Let me speak, please. Let's get a little back and forth. When did I state that it was going to be a personal attack?
That's what I felt. I felt, and I discussed it with my brothers, and we felt that it just wasn't a good show.
Right. So let's deal with what happened there. Right. You stated out of your own mouth on this show earlier that you talked with SaNeter. You said SaNeter said he was gonna man down. You said that right before we called in and all of that. And you saying that you felt in yourself, your own intuition, that I was gonna have a personal attack.
I didn't say you. I said it was turning to, listen to me clear, not you and not him, that it will ultimately turn into a personal attack. Okay. Remember what he told you that he told you to do. That was a low hit.
Listen though, right? I'm a man of integrity, number one. If you didn't want me to talk about that or make that statement about what he said, I wouldn't have said it. That's why I told you we could do a show on something else. Just don't make it look like Basim was controlling you and your platform. That wouldn't be wise to do. And I could attack you on that. I didn't state that, but I was saying that I could attack you on that because you gave your word as a man, as a Moorish.
Okay, let me change.
Stands on what he says and says what he means and can back it.
Okay, did you hear me again? I'm going to say it again. After reconsidering what SaNeter said to you, it was such of low vibration. Me as a man would have took that personal. And I probably would not allowed myself to contain myself in a response, because the topic of the show was, what is the conscious community, or is this conscious in the conscious community? And we was going to talk about how people are stepping outside of conscious and calling it consciousness. And it was related to what he said to you. So let me tell you again, I felt my responsibility to those who watch Moorish World TV. I didn't want it to turn into a mud-slinging fest. Now, whether it was going to come to that or not, I felt that. So I said, brother, we can do another show. Now, let's get past that. I felt that wasn't a right look for Moorish World TV, whether it would have went there or not. Now, you said you a man of integrity. You wouldn't have took it there. Well, brother, soon as you wasn't able to get on the show and you seen us doing the show by Operation Proclamation, you went right behind us in the same hour and said it wouldn't work. That's not integrity.
It is integrity.
Brother, that's not integrity.
I have a disagreement with what y'all saying.
You had a disagreement when we about to do a show on it. You haven't had a disagreement up until then. Why you got a disagreement as soon as we doing a show on it?
Brother, I voice my opinion. That's what a man of honor do. He don't sit back and feel one way and say something different.
Brother, you voiced your opinion when we was doing the show. You done had 3 months to voice your opinion since we was on your show talking about Operation Proclamation.
So what's the conversation now so I can deal with it?
The conversation is this, brother. And then we'll wrap it up. The conversation is this, brother. I don't have no beef or conflict with you. I am not a YouTuber. A YouTuber is one who that's all they do 24/7. They look for views. They attack each other. You know, the only reason I'm answering this phone is because I am a respectful guy. And if I change my mind, that's my right. My responsibility is to the people that watch this. Moorish World TV. And if I think something may get out of hand and go to the left, I'm not going to do it. Just like when SaNeter came on Moorish World TV, we still talk today. We still cool. It's okay. I can respect the difference. But he got kicked out. Kicked right out.
So, brother, let me ask you a question. So, when I said we could do another topic and I deal with that topic, why we didn't just do another topic?
Brother, I said, you say you just watched the video. I asked you, what do you stand for? You said you're a Hebrew nationalist. Is that it?
No.
Israel.
I never used the term Hebrew. Anybody that watched
okay, hold on. Forget it. Okay.
Let me clearly state my thing. So
okay, I'm gonna let you fix it, but I don't want to get stuck on the term because that ain't the point. You said Israel nationalist, right? Israelite nationalist.
That I use.
Now let me say this. I asked you, what do you mean by that? Is it an organization? Is it a group? Brother, you could not explain it to me on the phone. So I say, well, produce a video so I can watch the video. But on the phone, you could not explain what was an Israelite nationalist was.
That is not correct. That's false.
Okay, brother, let's real quick. For the people, what is an Israelite nationalist?
Israelite is one that's a part of the nation of Israel. Being a nationalist deals with the national business, the political, social, and economic breakdown of the nation of Israel.
Okay. So are you talking? So real quick. So you're talking about the nation of Israel as it relates in Palestine right now, or another nation of Israel?
Do you not know the biblical people known as the nation
of
Israel?
Listen to me. Okay, what is the political construct of the political people of the Bible?
Cutting me off every time I get whether you said you don't understand. You even said in there that it was a joke or lame and you didn't understand it and everything. Now you say
I don't want you to be long-winded because it's going into 10:30. I don't want you to be long-winded. What I'm asking you is this. If it's not the state of Israel as it relates to Palestine, is it the political constructs as it relates to the Bible?
Brother, it seems as you put my name in here and wanted to clown me, talk about me sitting on the couch.
Brother, you can't answer the question, brother.
You talk behind my back like that.
Brother, I'm talking into your face.
I came to y'all to talk to y'all like men, and y'all ran from the conversation and wouldn't talk.
Brother, you want to make a show, brother. I'm going to have to go on that note. You want to make a show, you got to answer the question, brother. If you're talking
what conversation,
If you're talking
What
about the
conversation
Israel,
did Moors run from? I don't
no,
understand.
no,
Right.
we're not going to
Yeah. I
dignify
don't
that.
understand
We're
the
not going to
context of
dignify
what
that,
he's
brother.
saying.
Because
Brother, we're
we
not
right
going to
here right
dignify
now.
that. What?
Right.
Can I talk to another brother? Because it seemed like you and your emotions or something, and you
Brother, you talk in circles, brother. I asked you, what is the Israeli nationalist? What is the Israelite nationalist? That's all I want to know. Are you talking about Palestine or are you talking about the Bible? Then I got another question.
I just stated it to you. If you don't know what an Israelite is, then that means that you're ignorant of the conversation, and you should have listened to my show that you said I sent you, and you said it didn't make no sense to you. If you listened to it, you should have did a point by point breakdown.
Brother, what is an Israelite nationalist? What is an Israelite nationalist?
If you would have gave me the show, I would have explained it then.
Brother, you don't see, this is the point. See, this is the point. We're not going, this is not your show where you can just skip through the lilies and say anything. What the heck is an Israel nationalist?
I did a show on it if you want to know.
All right, brother. Peace and love, brother. I'm about. See, we're not going to play these games, brother. We're not going to play these games, man. If I ask him what is an Israel nationalist, tell me what it is. If you ask me what is a Moorish American, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you I did a show last week on it. I asked the brother, is it a group? Where's the group? Where do they meet at? Where do they talk? Do they got a charter? Do they got bylaws? What is the rules? Tell me anything. He could not tell me one thing. I said, do they have a temple? Do they have a synagogue? What do they do? Who else is in the group? He was the only one in the group. He's a lone member in the Israel nationalist group. So my question was, how in the heck I'm gonna do a show about an Israel nationalist and he's the only member?
Right. Well, there's a lot of people with that particular issue going on, man. I mean,
this guy's
people
crazy,
making up jurisdictions and all kind of stuff,
bro,
man. A lot of stuff, a lot of weird stuff happening.
If he say that he's an Israel nationalist, right? I want to know, are you talking about the Israel and Palestine? He say no. He said,
No.
talking about the people of the Bible. Okay, tell me the laws that you're talking about that you're going to be a nationalist and support, uplift, and carry out.
No, but the even bigger, where's the government? Where's the government? Here's what's interesting.
Brother, so what do I look like doing this? I'm sorry, Ali Bey. Go ahead, my brother.
Here's the interesting piece that people miss about Moorish American Muslims, right? In terms of Moorish American being a nationality. For one, it has never been anything other than the fact that Moorish American Muslims are citizens of the United States of America. That's number one. So politically, our nationality is American, right? So we don't have a problem with that. We know where our government is. We know where the seat of our government is, the whole nine. In terms of the Moorish part, that has a historical continuity to it that goes back into BC times. We can actually trace that. The problem with Israel is that that was not a place or a people. This is why when you start talking about these different tribes, you'll get all of these different tribal names, and not one of these people is called Israel. There was never a place called Israel until recently. So what is the nation? You have these different groups of people, whether it's Judah, whether it's Benjamin, whether it's Naphtali, whatever it is. Not one of those people are called Israel by name, by tribal name. Not one of those people are called Hebrew by tribal name. So for me, it's hard to understand how they feel that Hebrew or Israelite is an actual national name.
But my thing is this, brother Ali Bey. My thing is, as it relates to Israel doctrine, brother, he is the lone member of the Israelite nationalists.
I understand that. I understood that point. And
I'm with you on all that, you know. But at least my brothers, and I love my Israel brothers and my Hebrew brothers, you know, they're organized. Indeed. They're organized. And my prophet teaches us that we should not speak rattle against any member of any organized group. Because we're to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So our brothers are organized and they moving forward. Big shout out to my brother. What's the brother? The Hebrew brother. Oh my goodness, man. He's in the national. He's in the national arena. The mighty Hebrew. Now he in the national.
Yeah.
Now he in the nationality arena. He on the front line. Now we can do a show because he got something to talk about. But when you talk about the Israel doctrine, man, when you talk about a brother like my brother Judah, he in the chat. He got something to talk about.
Let me say this to clarify my point. Just to clarify my point on nationality. I have a book by an international lawyer who deals. This particular lawyer deals in international law. It's called Nationality and Statelessness in International Law. And one of the things that he breaks down is very, very important about the term or the concept of nationality is that nationality itself deals with two different fields of science. One is the field of political science and the other one is the field of ethnography. Now, it has either an ethno connotation to it or it has a political connotation to it, where it is showing or speaking to the relationship between an individual and a state that the individual is a member of or a citizen of. The problem, and they can, I mean, anybody is free to call themselves whatever they want. The problem with the Israel piece is that the people of the Bible had their names, right? And if you're going to look at it from an ethno position, those people were ethnically either Judah, they were ethnically either Benjamin, ethnically whatever name it was. Israel is not an ethnic name. That's one side of nationality. The other side of nationality, Israel is a political construct now.
That's right.
But if you're trying to attach yourself to something from before, it no longer exists. So there is no political affiliation with anything from the Bible. So it would have to only be from an ethnic standpoint. And if you're going to deal with it from an ethnic standpoint, there is no ethnic group in the Bible called Israel. They all had their names already.
Praise the Lord, brother. I want to wrap this show up, man. Brother, this is a beautiful show. It turned out to be pretty good. Brother Grimion, are you there, my brother? This turned out to be a good show. Man, I'm glad. A peace to my brother
Islam. I'm here, brother, man.
I'm real quick, my brother. I'm peace to my brother Israel Doctrine. I'm glad he called in. But brother, you are all over the place. And it's okay if it works for you. It's okay. Brother, I will never come at you sideways. I will never come at you disrespectful. So there's no need to come at me like that. I'm the type of person that if I feel that way, I'm not dealing with this YouTube stuff. That's not my style. So let's be men. I'm not going to argue with you over YouTube. Not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen the level of disrespect that it goes to. I can't handle that type of thing. Me and SaNeter has this thing. He's an Aries. I'm an Aries. He don't agree with me. I don't agree with him. He walked that line fine. I walked that line fine. But I understand SaNeter to a degree, and he understands me to a degree, that it won't get out of hand. But see, some people, they don't have what it takes to contain themselves. And you have seen my brother SaNeter go left field. But I don't see that with me and the brother. He may make a video and say, baby, with the feds and all that. That's YouTube. That's fine. I got no problem with that. But when you see some brothers saying the things that they say to one another, and SaNeter have said some things to brothers that I totally disapprove of. Totally. But me and SaNeter don't have that kind of relationship. So if we go back and forth, it is what it is. because we don't have that type of cross the line relationship. I cut him off the show. Slam off. Somebody in the chat said, look like saw that in the timeout box. He in there shaking his head like this. But guess what? SaNeter called me the next day and said, brother, why you cut me out the show? And we had a conversation, and then we moved forward. But when you got somebody, their whole goal is to ride the coattails of another, and another, and another, and another, until you can get 150 views on a video, your life has gotten pretty bad. So I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want to get involved with that. Now, with that being said, peace and love, brother. I'm done with this conversation. Make 20 videos. Fine. I'm not answering anything. Recorded conversations that we had, I say what I say. If I change my mind, I change my mind. It is what it is. Now, that being said, I want my brother Grimmy Audio to say something to the people. Take us home, my brother. In closing, brother, the floor is yours.
Islam. I just like to say praise is due to Almighty God. And one thing that we just have to remember is that love is the way. And love is the only savior of the world. And, you know, we live in a tough climate. And I know everybody's angry and frustrated. And, you know, nobody has, you know, we get so frustrated that we take this, we take it out on ourselves, you know, regardless of the different types of groups that we are in or different types of religions and philosophies that we believe in. We just need to learn how to love instead of hate. And that's what the prophets taught. And, you know, the prophet could have came with all kinds of different levels of different ways that, you know, he could have brought this information to us, you know. And, you know, when the prophet first told the Moors who they were, they had Moors that was just so angry at the Europeans, they started going out in the street and just, flashing their cards at the Europeans, telling them what they couldn't do and say, and that they Moorish Americans, these Moorish Americans were so tough that the prophet had to put the leash back on them and rein them back in. It's, look, don't be flashing your cards at the Europeans because you causing confusion. So, you know, we dealing, you know, even though it was such a long time ago, we still dealing with the same issues. So, you know, more in closing out, I like to do this. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. And when he say the Asiatic nation, he not just talking about a few people. He said, ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. So that includes all of the Nation of Islam, Hebrew Israelites, Moorish American Muslims, Christians, Black Hebrews, whatever you want to call yourself. We all the children of one father. We provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given us a suck. So with that, I say Islam and peace.
Islam, my brother Ali Bey, you up next, my brother.
Islam, bro. I agree with everything. I concur with everything my brother Grimmy RL just said. My plea to our people would be to become more aware of your surroundings. I know that we're angry. I know that we are in a time where we're facing a lot of racial opposition and so forth. But I think it's very, very important that we, as the adults, in this particular situation, begin to educate ourselves in the things we need to be educated in. And I'm speaking specifically civics, the rights and duties of citizenship, and so that we can teach our young people coming up behind us the stuff that they need to know, the stuff that we didn't know, the stuff that other people didn't teach us that we wind up getting later in life. Give it to them early so that they can have this stuff So by the time that they're adults, they'll be in already in practice, and it'll be a working part of their lives, so they can do what you're talking about, Brother Taharka. Go form those block associations. Go run for office. Go run for city council. Represent your own council district. Do the things that need to be done that you know because you grew up in that area and can see what needs to be done. Go and do that stuff. Take the positions in the police departments in the areas where your people are the dominant people, and stop letting these people come from the suburbs into your urban areas murdering your children when you have the opportunity to be the police forces in your own communities.
That's right.
Take those jobs. Take those jobs. Take the jobs in the firehouse. Take the jobs in the firehouse. Do what you got to do to make sure that you and your family are going to not only survive, but become prosperous and really thrive in this society. If you can't do that, the other option is you can expatriate. There's no reason for anybody who to stay in this country who chooses not to be active in its government in this country that they live and stay here. Why would you stay in a country that you feel defeated in and see no wins, no way to win? Why would you stay here? Why not expatriate and go to a more preferable country? It doesn't have to be Africa. It could be anywhere. You can go to Canada. You can go to Brazil. For the brothers, a lot of beautiful women in Brazil, man. Marvelous beaches. Go to Brazil. You can go down there. You can go anywhere you want. But why stay here and complain about the things that you have no plan on doing anything about, and try to influence other people to think like that? To me, like I was telling Grimmy, I was telling someone else earlier, that's a message of gloom and doom. Stop preaching gloom and doom and stop trying to influence everybody else into that gloom and doom mentality. If you feel defeated and you're really finished in this society, do like the brother Marcus Garvey was trying to do. Expatriate. Bounce. You know, and with that, I say peace, bro.
Peace, 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 and peace and love, family. Brother, I thank y'all for showing up on the chat tonight. My brother Gribbie Ardell and my brother Ali Bey and all of Ali's men. I hope y'all brothers caught the show. The show was pretty good tonight. Thanks you, SaNeter, for calling in. Brother Israel Doctrine for calling in. Brother Roy Bey for calling in. Brother, I would love to get you on the show, Roy Bey, so we could have some Moorish family talk. Have some Moorish family talk and see what we can come up with, brother, because in New York, just as well in Baltimore, we need to have civics implemented in the true sense. And in the true sense is galvanizing the people and bringing the people to the polls to put our people in office. And that's just what it is. You know, as my brother just said, if you don't like it, expatriate. Get up out of here. But if you're going to be here, let's do something that can change the situation. And we can start a wave. It may start with the council person, councilwoman, councilman. It may go to the Senate. It may go to the Congress, and then it lead up to this, that, all the way up to the presidency. But we have to start somewhere, and we have to start now, because all of these laws are defending every crazy act that's being perpetrated against us. So we got to come together and do something. That's one of my favorite topics, and I'm going to keep on hammering it home. Every time I can sneak Operation Proclamation in or throw it through, it's coming in there. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. And with that, I say peace, family. And I want to tell you, this one for SaNeter, that's my brother. I want him to stop hotepping. I don't think he'll hotepping. SaNeter going to put on fast. SaNeter going to put on fast, I'm telling you. In 2017, SaNeter is putting on a fast. 2017, my brother Si's putting that fast back on like he got in this video. Yeah, you know what I mean? Hotepin', but like your braids, your face. You keep screaming black power, but you ain't busting the great. Silly said he be yelling, he do a whole lot of cussing. He be talking all loud, but I ain't saying nothing. Tell you bang on the beat, but he don't bang on the streets. Yeah, he bang on the mic and charge you for a seat. Yeah, beat what they say and then peep how they roll. Shut the foot on his makeup and said he powdered his nose. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me talking about my face. Hey, all the Remy and Coke. I mean, I'm boys, I'm a joke. I wish they would step to me and I be going for broke. Oh yeah, I talk with aggression, prefer to stick to the lesson. They be talking about wars like they be banning weapons. I know they only on tapping. Yeah, they fake with the lessons. They be talking hard, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepin', misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepin', oh yeah, they fake with the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepin', misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepin', yeah. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? SaNeter, you know better than the testimony. I think I told you before. And look what happened to your boy. And then you got that Maybelline queen up on my screen. You do a mustache, and you know what that means? Low self-esteem and got something to prove. That's right, I love Jesus. I got nothing to lose. I put my life on the line, and I bear my cross. The Jesus that I come to love, walk like a boss. Hey. Over tables, and I ride through the streets on a back of my ass because the clowns are weak. Yeah. He managed to reach. You should be mad at the teacher. He took you all the way to Kemet, and he still couldn't reach ya. My papa, he was born in the state of NC. I was born in MD. You know where to reach me. You can't leave NYC without wearing a vest because you talk that mess. We not enlightened or impressed. Representing that lesson. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepin', misrepresenting the lesson. Hey, let's do one more. I'm gonna take y'all out with my song again, man. I gotta take y'all out. You know, back in the day they had this John. They used to call it like, yeah. Let me take you out so I give me something. Let's go like it. These. Yeah. It's Star. I'm trying to be your friend, man. Let's go. Trying to be your friend, bro. Trying to be your friend. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Hey. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Well, let me be your friend. Hold up. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to a law. One day we gon' meet her. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can get scholarly, or we can get gutter. We are the children of a father, and the breast of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beat from our queen trying to murder us all. You need to hey, my brother, tell the elder the same. Cause I'm a real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the stairs off and get us back in the low. And return to the state where they used to call me dope, but no! Rolling with the prophet of the law, want love, not war. Standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an addict. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adapt is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islam, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that don't that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet bought is in the Quran. All that other stuff prostrated cover up is just a start. And there is place to meet the lost the heart. You can dress like a protect, but you can dress like a herb. Buy the Moorish merchandise from unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. Yo, but it gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine Jubilee. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. European son that the Moors will begin it, but we're here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess the Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Because if we have to fight, you know how we get. I still learn to love, but I'm not there yet. But I'ma work with you, and let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we ain't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, cycle shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that any conscious that took your bucks, move straight to Hollywood, straight picking it up, and y'all picking it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your friend to help set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it can blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. I wanna do one more. Hold up. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Yeah. Let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your. So let me be your. I wanna be your friend. Hey. Yeah.
It's easy to point out the differences that we have, but it's about love and it's about unity. We must move away from ritualism, formalism, and custom.
One God, one aim, one destiny. We keep down walls is unity. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. The star to the planet, the clock to the cloud. Lion to the lamb, the mother to the child. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the dial. Every year's a short, the time is now. True can't hold back the flame of your heart soul. Headed for Rome, shoot through it like a hard ball. Serving justice, you should double take cover. Boy, the age of the Moors, yeah, that's me, your cover. Fresh out the water, get my kids more on. United front, books and bitches, no bomb. I know I'm used to Luther, but check out my love song. Either we making babies or getting our slug on. More bodies gonna enjoy their butter love. Different bodies on everything but a love. Love if you love, live in love. This is rise, pour down the sun. Love wants perfection, make us one in his abode. The clasp of the palms, sound like claps when they explode. Marching with the soldiers on ironclad road. Lighting the rival, man must be what he knows. One God, one aim, one destiny. All we keep down walls is unity. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. The star to the planet, the clock to the cloud.